to Money and Marriage Made Simple, the show for couples who want to get on the same page financially and strengthen their relationship along the way. I'm your host, Tina Bunn, a financial coach and wife who knows what it's like to feel the stress of money in marriage. My husband and I paid off over $50,000 in debt, and it completely transformed our relationship and our lives. Every other week, I'll bring you practical tips, real conversations, and simple strategies to help you take control of your money together, one small step at a time. Let's jump in. Welcome to the first episode of Money and Marriage Made Simple. I am so excited to get started with this podcast, and I'm excited to have you here. Real quick, since this show is just starting, I can use any help that I can get. So if you enjoy this episode, make sure you go and follow the show and share with a friend who you think can use it too. So I would so appreciate that. I'm Tina Bunn. I own Finances Without Fear financial coaching, and I help couples learn how to manage their finances better. We work on budgeting, we pay off debt, we work on the communication around money between the two of them. We work on money fears, battling those money stories that you have and building those healthy habits around money. So that is what I do. That is my day job, and I am hoping to help you guys with this podcast to help you improve your marriage and get on the same page with your money. And I want you to build a life that you love with your spouse. I want you to build that really solid foundation for each other. This topic is so personal to me because about 5 years ago, my husband and I were not in a good place. We were really struggling. We lived paycheck to paycheck. We had a lot of debt. We also we fought all the time. I mean, we avoided talking about money altogether, but when it did come up, it was always a fight. And it was really a struggle. So we finally kind of hit a breaking point and decided to pay off our debt. We decided to budget for the first time, which I'll be honest, I resisted. I know the financial person totally resisted doing the budget. My husband actually set up our first budget, but after I got started, I realized I love the budget. It really gave me control, and it forced us to talk about money in a more objective way, leaving the emotions out of it, just talking about the numbers, talking about the plan. We started talking about our future more, and it really brought us closer and closer together. So I love the transition that we've made, and I love seeing couples make that transition. When I work with people and see them go from this tension to this united couple, it is amazing to see. So in today's episode, we're talking about why money and marriage are so deeply connected and why ignoring that connection can be really dangerous, and while embracing it can be really powerful in your relationship. Money is one of the top causes of stress in a marriage, and it's one of the top reasons for divorce. And it's so sad to me. I look at these stats. 33% say financial infidelity was the cause of divorce. So that's hiding money spent, hiding credit cards, things like that. And then 54% say debt was the cause of divorce. So that just kind of goes to show you how debt can really weigh on you and really cause separation in your marriage. So these money disagreements are not just about the numbers. It's rarely about the numbers. Yes, if money is tight, there's tension there. But typically it is more about values and security and feeling in control and the trust between the two of you. If you don't trust your partner to manage the finances properly, that's really going to affect you. So all of those things are more what it's about. It's not necessarily about the numbers themselves. Have you ever argued about something like groceries or takeout and you realize that it's not actually about that? It's not about that tiny little thing, right? There's so much more behind it. And it's the same way with money. Money and marriage really affects every part of your life. Think about all the decisions that you make on a day-to-day basis. How often do those decisions have to do with money? When you're talking about vacations, you're talking about stuff with the kids, you're talking about jobs, things like that. When you don't have that stress and that tension with money, you have so many more options. And that opens things up, like quitting your job and being able to go and get the job that you really want and love. A lot of couples have very different communication styles when it comes to money. One of you may completely avoid talking about money. Maybe there's a story there that you're completely avoiding it. The other one may want to control everything, which is not necessarily a bad thing as long as you're on the same page. But you've got to get on the same page before you take control. There's a lot of emotional history that comes into play as well. Things like everybody has their own money story. Everybody comes with different baggage, things that you grew up with. So those habits that you've brought into the marriage, that really affects you on a day-to-day basis. So bringing that together makes a huge difference. In my work as a coach, I see so many couples that make huge transitions, and it's so cool to see them go from that stress, that tension, the arguments and that lack of communication, and they transition to this cohesive unit. It is amazing to see. You have so many different money tendencies, like saver versus spender. And when I see people get on the same page and start working together, it makes such a difference. Without understanding and recognizing those money tendencies, it really can drive a wedge into your marriage. When you don't talk about money, resentment will build. When you don't bring up those issues, that resentment builds and builds and builds. And it is so, so bad for your marriage. It will cripple you. If you're not communicating, your financial goals will drift apart. Your life goals will drift apart, right? You're on separate paths, you're going in different directions. You're not going to end up in the same place. So when you are doing that, it's like you're living like roommates instead of partners. Avoidance can turn into chaos. If you avoid your money, if you avoid these conversations, you will miss bills, you will spend way too much, you will have way more debt than you ever realized. It just piles up if you avoid it. If you avoid that conversation, it will pile up and really cause a lot of damage. It will increase the stress and affects your household and your relationship. Now, on the flip side, when couples embrace these conversations, these money conversations, they become this cohesive unit. There's unity in their marriage, and goals become shared dreams. They work together towards them, and the progress that they make is incredible. Trust and teamwork grow stronger. So when you are openly talking about money all the time, that trust builds and builds. You really know that person and you trust them completely. When you are working as a team, you are going in the same direction, you are doing the same things, making plans together, you are going to make more progress. It's so powerful to see the transformation in a couple as I watch them learn how to communicate and make plans together. Once you're on the same page, that progress is absolutely incredible. Now, here's some things that you can do to start the process. You may be so divided with your spouse right now, it's causing trouble. And how do you get started? Where do you even start with something like this? Money doesn't have to divide you, it can bring you closer if you learn how to talk about it in the right way. So, you may be wondering, where do I even start? What do I do? How do I get started on this process? Because if you are completely divided and you fight about money all the time, how do you even have that first conversation? So here's some of the things that you can work on. It's not going to happen overnight, but here's some things that you can work on just to get started. You can start budgeting together, put together a budget and encourage your spouse to look at it with you and just start tracking the transactions that you're spending, how understanding exactly where your money is going, what money is coming in, what money is going out. Build a debt payoff plan. I recommend the debt snowball method. I'll do a separate episode about that at one point, but you can also look it up. Debt snowball is an amazing way to pay off debt. So if you put that plan together with your spouse, that will help you get on the same page and have that first goal that you're working towards together. Make goals together. sit down and really think about where you want your future to go. What do you want your life to look like 5 years from now? And what kinds of things do you need to do today and next month and next year to get to that goal? Sit down and talk about that together. It's really fun when you start dreaming, but so many of us are just trying to get through the day that we forget to think about the future. We forget to dream and make goals. The other thing is making sure that you do regular money check-ins. You should do weekly check-ins where you're touching base. If you get paid weekly, you can plan your paychecks, talk about what bills you have coming out, what expenses are going to be going out this week. Just do those weekly check-ins. Hey, how's it going? Talk to your spouse about that. You should also be doing monthly check-ins. That's when you will put together your budget for the month and make the plan for the month. Make sure you're doing like quarterly check-ins too on your goals. That's something that I recommend for everybody, that you reevaluate your goals every few months so that you make sure that you're still working on something that you still want. I do have a workbook. It's called the Financial Focus Journal. If you're interested in using that on your journey, you can definitely get that. I'll put the link in the show notes. It walks you through those different check-ins and how to make goals together and kind of that process. So that's a great way to get started, and maybe that will help you breach the conversation too. So as you can see, money and marriage go hand in hand because money affects nearly every single part of your life together. So I encourage you this week, just take 5 minutes and pick one topic to talk to your spouse about and just get the conversation started. Next time, I hope you join us. I'm going to be diving into why you and your spouse might not see eye to eye on money and how to fix it. So it'll be a great next step if you're looking to start this conversation. So I hope you'll join us and have an awesome day. Thanks for joining me today on Money and Marriage Made Simple. If you found this episode helpful, you'll love my essential money checklist for couples. You can grab that for free on the link in the show notes. Episodes will drop every other week, so be sure to follow the show so you never miss a new one. For more tips and encouragement between episodes, come hang out with me on Instagram at Finances Without Fear. I'm cheering you on as you simplify your money and strengthen your marriage, one small step at a time.